So I am live. Just give me a second, guys. I got to make sure to share this real quick. Um, what the hell was that? What in the absolute hell was that we just watched out on that pitch? I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm just sharing it real quick. Like, I don't understand why we allow Mourinho to continue to manage Manchester United despite the crap that he continues to run out. I mean, Alex, get rid of the problem. The board, Woodward, Jose. I'm on it. I'm all for it. Get rid of everybody. Get rid of everybody. Like, and here's the thing: to affect change, the only thing we can really do is we have to boycott everything. We have to boycott everything. And is that really going to happen? Unfortunately, no. We will, like, here's the thing. Fans are still going to support the club as well. They should. I'm not saying we should not be supporting the club. But for God's sakes, guys, this has gotten to the point that we are continuing to allow basically what is, I mean, it's to put it in perspective of a child, we're allowing a child to continue to put out, to have bad behavior, despite the fact that we're the parents and we should be stepping in and doing something. There is no excuse for what is going on the pitch right now. Everybody that is responsible for what is going on right now needs to be gone. That goes down to Mourinho. That goes down to Woodward. That goes down to Deadwood. That goes down to everybody. And honestly, if Woodward is not going to react to this, and especially, here's the thing: we have young boys coming up in the middle of the week. Are you guys confident at all that we're going to win that match? I know I'm not. I'm not confident at all that we are going to go out in the middle of the week and bring in a good performance. This is why people who support Jose. I honestly, Ben, I don't get it. I don't get how people are continuing to support a manager that has done nothing. Their minds are full of water and they have no idea what's happening. I feel Woodward must also go. I mean, honestly, it's getting to the point where we are reaching a level at Manchester United where we are becoming worse than Arsenal. We're at their most banter, at their highest level of banter, where you knew that they were never going to win the league. Everybody if you were Jose in at this point, I gotta know why. I mean, Michael Hubbard, I know you're in here, or at least you were. Michael, why are you still Jose in at this point? Mourinho has done nothing to earn the confidence of Manchester United fans that he should be able to continue to run out there and do it. Next weekend against Southampton will be tough. They will be fighting for points. I mean, here's the thing. Nobody's going to come to Old Trafford right now and be scared. No one's scared of going to Old Trafford right now. Nobody thinks that they're going to go into Manchester United and get less than anything but a point. We are an absolute banter club right now. I don't understand. Didn't the Glazers do the same with Tampa Bay? Have championships winning teams, then get deteriorated with? So I mean, Nigel, here with the whole NFL thing. I mean, it's hard to compare the NFL to the Premier League because NFL also contains like draft and free agency and stuff like that. But I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. I mean, Michael, I mean, you brought up a good point here. I mean, Moyes was bad, but Jose might be worse. Honestly, I mean, at least Moyes, he wasn't given much time at Manchester United. I mean, if this was honestly, if this was anybody but Mourinho, I honestly believe that he would be fired by now. Time to get rid of him. However, I feel that I mean, honestly, Doug, I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. I don't think that we are firing Mourinho until it is going to be too late. I don't think we're firing him until it's too late. And it's sad because ultimately that just proves that all this club is about is money. Mr. Exclusive, bringing in the stats, man. Jose averages less than 2 goals a game in the Premier League. Less than 2 goals a game in the Premier League. How is that acceptable for Manchester United? It's not. That is not acceptable for Manchester United to be allowed to run out there and put in the performances that we have been putting in. I mean, guys, I'm sorry that Ash couldn't join us. He had some family things come up. But, I mean, if anybody has any answers for me, I would love to know what you think is going on at this club, because it blows my mind that we continue to allow what is going on that pitch to happen as fans. I don't know what we can do as fans, but we need to do something. We need to do something, because that was worse than the performance against Manchester City. That was, I mean, granted, Manchester City was a different story because ultimately all we did was play defensive. We had 60% possession in this game, and I never felt like we were going to score. Never. I never felt like we were ever going to score. And we were close on a couple different occasions. Like, I mean, so Jose has never won 3 Manager of the Months. Has only ever won 3 Manager of the Months. November of 2004, January 2005, and March 2007. That's interesting. Dizzy, the team looks lethargic and unmotivated. We need someone to light a fire in the squad and fans. Honestly, this is where somebody that is a captain of Manchester United, a true captain, not Ashley Young, not anybody of these like these people that you know aren't going to be real captains. I'm talking a real captain. I'm talking Roy Keane. I'm talking give me Wayne Rooney back as a captain. And I get that Wayne Rooney wasn't the greatest captain, but at least he would be doing something and yelling about this. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable that this type of performance is allowed at Manchester United. What I miss, had to choose between match and squash, and looks like it chose. Vino, honestly, you did choose correctly. I don't blame anybody. That if you didn't watch that match, I get it. Because I ultimately, like, with a 0-0 that we created almost no chances and showed no desperation heading down the stretch, we showed none. No desperation. And yet, like, how is that acceptable in Manchester United? I wouldn't have, if we had lost but had been trying to throw everybody forward, I would have preferred that. I would have preferred it. Ben, I didn't see that. So Ben said, have you seen Mourinho's post-match comments talking crap about dinners and parties nonsense? I didn't see that. I'll watch his post-match presser on MUTV a little later. 14 points behind City, 12 behind Liverpool, 7 behind Chelsea, and 6 behind Spurs. United could be as low as 9th tomorrow. We're Bournemouth to beat Arsenal tomorrow. I mean, honestly, I don't understand. I don't understand how Deadwood is allowed to continue to have a job at this squad. I mean, at this club. Like the fact that we have Darmian started today, guys. Darmian, and I'm not saying that Darmian played bad or had a poor performance today by any means. But what's the purpose of throwing Darmian out there? What is the purpose of throwing Darmian out there when you've got Delo on the bench? I mean, for God's sake, put Valencia out there. At least maybe Valencia would come up with a wonder goal. I mean, Valencia loves to do that. He loves to come up with a wonder goal. I mean, Pankaj, I don't blame you. Pankaj says he feels so emotional. I don't blame you, bro. I don't. Alex, we're a circus club. And Sophie said exactly. It's unacceptable that we're 10th. Michael, I mean, you might be right. Michael said the money's still rolling in. They won't change anything as long as it continues and the final product doesn't mean anything to the board. Listen, at what point, though, is it acceptable that number one, we're losing money as a club. We're losing money. Fans aren't going to the games as much. I mean, I saw tons of empty seats today during the match. Tons. I know for a fact that stock prices are down. More lost money. When is this board going to grow the balls to actually do what needs to be done and fire Mourinho? Bring some, and here's the thing, even if you're Mourinho in, you cannot deny that bringing in a new manager would bring in optimism to the club. Bringing in a new manager would bring optimism. That is the truth. I mean, so I don't know. So said Dalot should have started instead of Darmian. Why didn't he even play? Listen, I don't even know. I don't know. He was also talking about Tottenham and Chelsea as if whatever the result is tonight has any effect on our season. Seriously, Ben, it doesn't. Nothing. Nothing that we are not finishing in the top 4. That is a 100% guarantee. And if you guys want proof that I said this back in July, go to my Twitter. Go to @RedBeardedRed on Twitter. It's my pinned tweet. My pinned tweet basically is a thread about the reason why Manchester United will not finish higher than 4th. I guaranteed it. And we aren't. We're not going to finish above 4th. I guarantee it. I 100% guarantee it. Because with what I saw on that pitch today, we're going to be lucky to finish in Europa League spots. We will be lucky to finish in Europa League spots. And I don't want to be anywhere near that crap competition. Absolute waste of time. Absolute waste. Ash, I know that you're Mourinho in. You can't deny that bringing in a new manager would bring optimism. What's going on, Chris? And Ash, I'm happy to see you in here, man. Like, Pancast, I don't blame you. I want the old United back. I want the days of Sir Alex Ferguson where you knew that at the end of the day, we were going to manage to pull it out. You always felt it. Darmian alone made me very suspicious about the intentions of Jose in this match. I mean, Vino, that's fair. Ash, I thought you were Mourinho in. Are you just kind of more back the manager? I'm just curious. Jose's not a stupid man. He can beat Crystal Palace, but he wants to get sacked. Honestly, it does kind of feel like Mourinho wants to just collect his $26 million that he'll get for being fired. And that's fair. You know what? If that's what it is, if you just support the manager because he is the manager, I get it. I get that. But there reaches a point where us as fans, we need to do something. We need to do something. And I don't know what that is. Because we have reached a point that we're going to start dropping further down the table. I was going to say good evening, but honestly, Malo, there's nothing much good about what's going on right now. And granted, so guys, it's only 10:55 in the morning here, so now the rest of my day I have to think about that result. Talk about some crap. We won't finish in the top 4, Maria. I completely agree. It's coming up to Christmas. Mourinho wants to be out of the Lowry and back home. And honestly, it feels like that. It feels like Mourinho wants to get fired. With the way that he continues to run out the club and run out the team like he is, it feels like he wants to be fired. Like he wants to he wants to collect his money and move on. And honestly, I don't know where Mourinho can go from here. I don't. Chris, I don't blame you for feeling emotional. I don't blame anybody for feeling emotional after that match. To be honest, it's not just down to us. It's not our decision. Woodward needs to grow. Ash, I completely agree. Woodward needs to grow the balls and do what is right and fire the manager. He needs to fire Mourinho. Mourinho needs to be gone yesterday because we're not going to improve under him. We're just not. We've reached a point that, and this is the thing. I could get why, even if you were Mourinho, if you believe there was some optimism at the beginning of the season, because we did finish second, we brought in a couple of players. I get it. I get why you would feel optimistic about Mourinho at the beginning of the year. But there's nothing to be optimistic about at this point in time. Other than the fact that we don't have to deal with international football again until springtime, basically. There's nothing to be optimistic about. Chris, honestly, like Crystal Palace had more shots today in total. Now, we had more shots on goal. We had 5 total shots on goal, but only 2 to Crystal Palace. But Crystal Palace had 14 total shots to our 13. Crystal Palace had more shots than us. We were lucky. We were absolutely lucky to be able to even like draw that game because they had the more clear-cut chances. They truly did. Sorry for going off topic, but I did watch All or Nothing Cardinal doc. Yeah, Ben, that was a fantastic documentary. I absolutely loved it. The Arizona Cardinals All or Nothing. But sacking the manager isn't the only thing we need. We need a director of football who gets the club, who is, I mean, Pancake, I agree with that. I think that a director of football does make sense. I think that bringing in somebody that will understand what the club ethos is and what needs to happen at Manchester United makes complete sense. Absolute and complete sense. I mean, so Alex, you can force a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink. Let him go if he wants to leave for what is $25 million? Honestly, what is $25 million to Manchester United that's worth $4 billion? It's just the truth. We're the richest club in the world. What is $25 million? From a moral standpoint, considering we gave him a new contract and a poor transfer window, I cannot sack him. However, if you want direct attacking football, he's not the man. Michael, I mean, you're absolutely right, and I know that you're a Mourinho in type of guy, but it's probably the same reason as Ash that you just want to back the manager. I get it. I mean, Logan says give Mourinho Man City squad, and he'll still miss out on top 4. I actually don't disagree with that. I think that, but that's also because Mourinho wouldn't play David Silva. He would never play David Silva. He would never play the most talented people in his squad because they're not tall enough for him. And Ash, I mean, exactly. I mean, we need a director of football to be over Ed Woodward. We need somebody that understands the club to its core to bring in the people that need to be brought in. I honestly think we need a director of football to bring in the next manager too. Let them be a part of that decision. Bring in somebody like Patrice Evra. Bring in somebody like Ryan Giggs. Bring in Roy Keane. Bring in anybody that understands what this club is supposed to be about, and let them have a say in what is going to go on. It needs to happen. And Michael, I agree. We should have either backed him or sacked him. And Ash, you're right. I mean, he's a banker. He's a banker. Chris, I mean, he says, look at Fulham now. They're pretty good. I mean, honestly, Fulham have more ambition apparently than we do because at least they had the balls to fire their manager that wasn't getting them outside of relegation. Fulham actually have a decent squad, and they spent more money than anybody in the Premier League in this summer. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me that this has continued to allow to go on. And I agree with Michael. We should have either backed him or sacked him in the summer. We should have either backed him or sacked him. And I was all for sacking him. I was all for being like, you know what? You got to finish second. It looks like you're not going to improve because the football doesn't look good. We got to let you go. And at least you got to let the guy go, finishing second. He got a couple trophies, and it would have at least let him leave on some decent terms with Manchester United fans. But right now, if he was to leave, he would not be leaving on decent terms with Manchester United fans. That's a guarantee, an absolute guarantee. I take Jardim. Attacking football promotes youth. Sorry, was barely known, and look at what he's doing at Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, Ben, that's a fantastic point. Pancaz, Andrew, at this point of playing the kids because we don't have anything to achieve this season. But Mourinho will never play the kids. We all know that. Mourinho will never play Tahith Chong and Angel Gomez and Mason Greenwood and people that could maybe actually go out there and give all of their heart and soul into the game. I mean, it's something that I believe that the kids would do. We're a joke. I mean, Sophie said it. We're a joke from the top to bottom. We're a mess, and there's so many problems. You're absolutely right. I mean, guys, could you imagine if that's kind of funny, Chris. I mean, could you imagine if Claudio Ranieri went out there and managed to win the league with Fulham next year? Could you imagine if he did it twice? That'd be incredible. I don't think it's going to happen, but, I mean, at what point do you got to give a guy credit? I mean, Michael, I mean, I'm happy you're here, man, because I mean, like, I can't believe that this is the point we have reached at Manchester United. We've reached a point where we're arguing with each other. I mean, you're going to see fans on Twitter and on social media that are going to be arguing back and forth about what this game was. You're going to see fans that are going to like say, "Oh, it's the players' fault." You're going to see people that are going to say, "Oh, it's the manager's fault." It's going to be back and forth. It's going to be back and forth. And the sad part is, we should all be united as one in realizing what the best thing for this club is. I honestly believe everybody believes what they believe is like for the best. But we've all seen what Manchester United is. We all know it. Why are we not allowing it to happen? Why? I don't understand. That's funny. So Mr. Exclusive is going to put 25 pounds on Fulham to win the league. I love it. Vandy Candy, he said it. If there's no pattern to our attacks, seems everything is just random. I completely agree with that. We look so disorganized, so disjointed in our attack. We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea what we are doing when we are attacking, and just I don't understand it. I don't understand how what are we training? What are we training during training sessions? What are we doing? Pochettino out playing sorry ball. I mean, thanks. I mean, I think I saw somebody say it's 2-0 right now to Tottenham. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and just put on the game here because I can. So, but why would we give Jose money in January? Look at Fred, Bailly, Sanchez, etc. Jose is not getting the best out of them at all. He doesn't have a plan. And United, he just hijacks deals with other clubs. Sophie, fantastic point. Absolutely fantastic point. I mean, Saban, you're right. We're a Walking Dead club. We really are. We are an absolute banter club. Absolute banter club. And how it continues to be allowed to go on, it really does blow my mind because we're Manchester United and we have clubs like Fulham that have more ambition than what we do. Tell me if you ever thought that Fulham would have more ambition than Manchester United do. There's no excuse for that. I mean, guys, I just get confirmation, so it is 2-0. I've got the game on here. So, I mean, but it's absolutely ridiculous that our board aren't seeing what is going on. We have nothing to be optimistic about. We have nothing. Mike Glover's being he's talking about this whole season is write off because we were not prepared. I believe that the first and second seasons were successful. The summer and preseason was a disaster. This summer and preseason was a disaster, and all other teams, bar Spurs, have reinforced, and we got Fred and Delo for the future. I mean, I honestly think you're right, man. I think that both of the signings were more Ed Woodward signings that he knew that they were going to be for the next manager. I actually do think that. Jose Mourinho doesn't have the balls to drop his boy Matic. He doesn't. I mean, you're absolutely right, Doug. I mean, so let's go ahead and we're going to talk about player ratings real quick. So De Gea, De Gea's man of the match. He saved our ass again he had another great double save. I'm going to give De Gea an 8. He had a great game today, and he deserves it. We got the clean sheet. I mean, great job. Great job, David. I'm very, very proud of you. Man of the match. Ashley Young, okay. He was okay. I give him a 6. No, I'm going to give him a 5 because ultimately nobody was really above average. You get a 5. Smalling and Lindelof. I mean, I'll give Lindelof a 7. Lindelof had a good game. But Smalling, I'm going to give you a 6. I mean, nothing really happened. I mean, then Darmian, 5. He didn't do anything to help, but didn't do anything to hurt. Matic, I'm going to give a 4. I mean, Matic really didn't do anything. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I feel like Matic, all he does is pass backwards. I might be crazy, but has anybody else noticed that? That all Matic does is pass backwards? I don't think I've ever seen Matic pass anything other than backwards in the last 4 games. Like, genuinely. I mean, Chris, and it's fair. If you want to give him a 3, I'm going to give him a 4 because ultimately a clean sheet was kept. That's the only reason. For me, all players 3 and then De Gea 8. I mean, that's – and Saban, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. You can't do a job. I mean, listen, Vandy, I agree with you. I do agree with you. Like, but then Pogba, crap today. But ultimately, everybody was crap on the team. It's not like I'm surprised by anything. Chris, I think Chris is saying a -3. Yeah, he might be right, Ben. But Pogba was crap. I'm going to give him a 4. He didn't do anything. I mean, but again, nobody did anything. And then when you brought on all of your attacking talent, you took Pogba off for Sanchez. And Sanchez did nothing. We had no creativity. He took off our 2 most creative players, and Pogba and Mata. Why? I'll give Matic a 1 every time in the game, unless he's dropped for an extended length. Vino, fair. Fair. I mean, no possession, play no movement. Yeah. But we'll go ahead and move on to Mata. Mata didn't really have a great game. I'm going to give him a 5. He put in a couple of decent free kicks, but other than that, I mean, nothing really got created. Martial probably was our best attacker today. He gets a 6. He's the only one that looked threatening at any point in time. Lingard, I'm going to give him a 5. Made some threatening runs, had a decent shot on goal, but besides that, really did nothing. And then Lukaku, I didn't even notice Lukaku other than 1 cross. So I'm going to give Lukaku a 4. I mean, we did nothing. None of our starters did anything. And then all of our subs, I mean, Fellaini didn't do anything. I'm going to give Fellaini 5, Rashford 5, Alexis Sanchez 4. Because Alexis Sanchez did absolutely nothing when he came on the pitch and gave the ball away a couple of times. So we are an absolute banter club at the moment. Absolute banter club. Low-key dreading my trip to Old Trafford. I mean, Angelina, when are you headed? I'm just curious. What match are you headed to Old Trafford for? I mean, we could get you on the show if you want to join. I'd be happy to have you. Yeah, so Ash, I did notice the back heel. That I did, and I actually made a comment about that on the United Stand. And that was the one good bit of play that Matic had today. Is he made that little back heel pass to Martial. It was a little overpowered, but barely. But by him slightly overpowering the pass, it made it so the defender got to it first. But that was a hell of a pass. I give him credit for that. We rely on Pogba way too much. I mean, Sophie, that's a great point. We rely on Pogba way too much. For us, if he has a good game, we have a good game. If he has a bad game, we have a bad game. That's absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, it's Saban. He said we lose to Young Boys. We have to end it with Mourinho. I mean, if we lose to Young Boys, there is no excuse. We cannot lose to Young Boys in the middle of the week. We can't. If we lose to them, I can almost guarantee that we will be in the Europa League. Almost guaranteed. Because I honestly think that a draw is coming for the matchup against Valencia in Spain. I do. I'm attending the 26th and 29th game against Huddersfield and then Bournemouth. Well, Angelino, if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to join me for one of those 2. I'd be happy to have you on. Just hit me up on Twitter. I'll be happy to have you on for one of the 2. Pick which one. I'll let you do the preview with me, and then I'll have somebody else do a review with me. But I'd be happy to have you. We won't lose to Young Boys. We will win 1-0 and a deflected goal off the defender's butt. That's so. I mean, honestly, guys, I don't think that we're going to lose to Young Boys by any means. But I also don't have the confidence that we're going to win either, which is absolutely pathetic to say. Absolutely pathetic to say. I have zero confidence that we will win against Young Boys, which is a club that we should go out there and absolutely batter. absolutely battered with everything that we have. We should be just taking it to them. But I have zero confidence. There's a lot of, so I'm sorry. Protecting Delo because he's young, then why bash all the other young players? I mean, Vino, yeah, that's a great point. Liverpool drew 2-2 to Young Boys at Anfield a few seasons ago, so who knows what happens. Doug, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in the game. Ultimately, they are all professionals. They're all professionals. And at the end of the day, I expect them to go out there and play hard. I mean, the Young Boys didn't have a horrible game. They really didn't. We will win 3-0 just to take the piss and show that we can do. We chose not to. I mean, Mr. Susan, funny enough, I could see it happening. I could just see us going out there, and it's the typical Mourinho right now that we managed to have a shit game, and then when the next game we managed to have a great game. I don't understand it. I don't understand how it's like back and forth so horribly. Ben, honestly, I don't know. Ben asked if we don't get a result against Young Boys, is there honestly any way back for Jose? I don't think so. There isn't. I don't think there's a way back for him now. But we're stuck with him right now. It's the truth. So I don't know. Yeah, Angelino, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if we absolutely destroy him because that would be typical Mourinho. It's the one good result and then one bad result. It just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand how our board don't have the balls to do what is right. I mean, Saban, let's not try and do that. I mean, let's just keep it calm with that because I also don't want the FBI or anybody seeing this and coming after you. So, but he needs to be gone. I honestly believe Mourinho has lost it. I believe that he's lost his special one. He doesn't even look like he enjoys the game anymore. Does anybody think Mourinho enjoys the game anymore? I don't see it. Michael, while you're right about that, why play Darmian? Nobody cares if Darmian plays, so Jose will get some credit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So guys, I mean, I feel good real quick. So I mean, we're kind of going to start wrapping up the show. But does anybody want to get an Arthur appearance? I mean, Arthur can maybe bring some positivity. I mean, I'll be happy to have him if you guys want him. He looks like a shell of the manager he was. Yeah, I agree 100%, Dizzy. Maria, it's the Glazers pattern. We don't get top four and end up in Europa League and no European football they'll spend. I mean, Maria, I actually agree with you. I think that we're going to get if we manage to somehow not qualify or we wind up in Europa League, I can almost guarantee that we're going to go out and spend close to $300 million in this summer. Almost a guarantee. So all right, I'm getting some yes pleases. So we'll get the Arthurs in. We'll get them in. Come on, Bucks. Oh, come on. Come say hi to the peoples. You say hi to the peoples? Yeah. Thank you. You guys got your Arthur sighting. He's a good boy. Thank you. He's giving me the love because he knows I'm upset. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Did you guys, if you guys follow me on Twitter, did you see the poster that Matthew McFadden made? It was amazing. So it's Arthur with the USA like this with the number 7, and he's got his head tilted. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Ben, he does support Manchester United. He's just his red sweater is currently in the wash because it got a little bit hairy. But he does have his red sweater that he wears. But that's his Champions League one. That's the Champions League one. But yeah, Vito, that was pretty good, wasn't it? So if you guys haven't seen it here, I'll pull it up real quick. But So Miss Matthew McFadden made this. This is the new #1 seller. New #1 seller. Go buy it now. Go buy it now. I know, right, Ben? It might as well be. Arthur is the mascot, guys. Arthur's the mascot for Manchester United. Let's be real about it. Come on. So Michael Hubbard. So in preseason, Valencia wasn't fit. We were unsure about Luke Shaw, which would have meant Young on the right and Valencia, or I'm sorry, Young on the left and Valencia on the right with Delot. If for whatever reason Delot would not be ready, there's trouble. I mean, yeah, very true. Chris, I mean, you could ask Matthew if you really do want it. I'm sure he'd make it for you guys. Yeah, guys. Arthur was. I've heard him literally outside the door the entire time I've been in here for the last 4 hours, basically. So, I mean, but guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna give some final thoughts. I mean, if you guys want the chance to have your voice heard, be sure to get your comments in now. Like I said on the United Stand, I'm gonna say it here too, guys. This channel is about all of us. I want this channel to be about all of our opinions, and everybody's opinion deserves to be heard. I 100% believe that. And so, no matter what it is, you are welcome on my channel. You're all welcome on my channel. Be a real person, be truthful, and we're happy to have you. We really are. But so real quick, so Ben asked, how are the Cardinals doing this year? Unfortunately, Ben, the Cardinals are crap this year. Our manager that was doing really well for us retired. And so right now we've only won 2 games this year. So, and I hope we don't win another one, because in the NFL, you get a higher draft pick if you lose more. So, you think any chance we snag Pulisic? Dizzy, I hope so. That's my dream, is to have Christian Pulisic at Manchester United. It's more than just him being an American. He really is a talented guy. Ben, honestly, all my teams really aren't very good this year, other than the Arizona Coyotes. But I don't think that we have very many NHL fans, so that's the only reason why I don't cover it. I know there's a lot of NBA fans, and we're going to start NBA. I think that we're going to do NBA on Monday. I'm going to start trying to do it every Monday. But I can tell you this, the summers are going to be kind of boring, guys, because literally the only sport going on is baseball. So any team that you support that is doing good? Yeah, I mean, the Coyotes are. So, sorry, guys, I was getting a phone call there. After today's result, I can't see United reaching top 4. I think probably we finished 6th in the league, plus bring on Europa League. I know, right? Jesus, I don't want the Europa League back, guys. I really don't. Chris, you're a Raptors fan? Cool. I have a cousin that loves New York. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, but anyways, guys, so final thoughts on the match. I mean, guys, we just drew 0-0 to Crystal Palace. We drew 0-0 to Crystal Palace. Dizzy, I'm happy to have you here, bro. I hope you join in more. We do this. I'm almost live twice a day, almost every single day, except for maybe like one day a week where I might not go live, or might go live only once. So be happy to have you. And we love having fans on here, man. But really, is there anything other to say than we just drew 0-0 to Crystal Palace? We're a banter club. We just kept a clean sheet, but that's also because we didn't keep a clean. We kept them a clean sheet. Let's be real. We kept them a clean sheet. Barely, too. If it weren't for De Gea, we would have been screwed in this game. Matt Marcus, good to see you in here, bro. Today's show was amazing, man. I had a great time. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Kazim, I'm happy to have you here too, man. I really am. I'm happy to have all you followers here. Honestly, guys, this channel is about all of us. I hope you know that. And like, honestly, I want you guys to know that everybody's opinions are welcome here. No matter what your opinion is, as long as you're respectful with it, we're happy to have you. So, but honestly, guys, other than saying, guess what? We drew 0-0 to Crystal Palace. One of the bottom clubs in the league. We just drew to. We just drew to the Owl. We just drew to the Owl. Like, really? Mourinho out, guys. I'm just going to say it. Mourinho out, Mourinho out, Mourinho out, Mourinho out, Mourinho out. Get rid of this absolute banter of a manager to hopefully bring this banter club back to somewhat of its former glory. Then, Mr. Exclusive, please be sure to drop your Twitter in there. So, guys, again, Ash wasn't able to join me, but be sure to follow him. He had some family issues come up. I would love to have you guys follow him. He's a great guy, and I could tell you that him and I were kind of texting a little bit during the match, and he was not a happy man. He was not a happy man. So... seriously, George, I mean, George said it. I mean, no point being Mourinho out since no one in power will actually listen. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just, when is the change going to happen? I mean, actually, you know what? Before I go off, Ash is Jose out, Chris. So I want to ask you guys, when do you think that Mourinho will actually be fired? I want to know your guys' honest opinion. When will Mourinho be fired? Before I hop off, I want to hear that. I mean, we've got 30 people watching. If all 30 of you actually say when, I would love to see that. All 30 of you say when you think Mourinho will actually be fired. Mourinho's like a leaf sucking the lifeblood. I mean, honestly, that's very true, George. Chris says end of the season. George basically saying the same thing. Heavy defeat at Anfield from Doug. I mean, maybe. Saban saying next year. Ben, not till the summer. Vandy, end of the summer. I mean, end of the season. Dizzy, end of the season. I was bringing you out since before we got beat by Spurs at the start of the season. And bringing Roy Keane to give the player. I mean, Football Crew Show. I mean, yeah, I'm all good with that. Luke, I appreciate it, man. I really do. January, if we're below 10th from Vino. Michael Hubbard, end of the season. Chris Bennington, he won't get sacked. He'll walk. I mean, very possible, Chris. He'll be fired when we're mathematically impossible to finish top 4. Nigel, that is a very popular one. I do tend to agree with that. Till top 4 is mathematically impossible. That's the one I think. As I think he will not be gotten rid of until top 4 is literally impossible. And that's going to be too long. Because honestly, top 4 is impossible right now. It really almost is impossible. If we brought in a new manager, maybe. But, I mean, so Maria says, I want him gone now, but it probably won't be till May. Possibly when top 4 is gone, but possibly when top 4 is not possible anymore. Ben, yeah. James, when top 4 is gone, Ben Mourinho won't walk. He'll get his millions. Yeah, exactly. He won't get his millions if he walks. We're in for more torture. I mean, honestly, Vandy, yeah. But, guys, I don't understand why we continue to allow this to go on. The board need to act. They need to act now because we're getting to the point that we're going to reach a point soon that if we don't make a change, that Arsenal will be laughing at what a banter club we are. And Arsenal, we're the banter club. Seeing Claudio Ranieri on my TV right now. Exactly, Chris. We are Manchester freaking United. You guys, you know what? End of the day, this is how I always want to end these shows. We are Manchester United. We are Manchester United, and guess what? We will come back. If you're a rival fan, you better believe that because I believe in my heart of hearts, we will come back. It won't be long. Keep the faith, guys, because at the end of the day, Mourinho will be gone soon enough. I promise you that. Mourinho will be gone soon enough. But I can promise you that we will get back to our former glory. And when we do, this entire league, it better be petrified because we're going to come back with a freaking vengeance. We will come back with a vengeance. And when we do, we're going to take over this league. We're going to take over this league. We're going to go into Champions League. We're going to absolutely destroy it. And Vesh, I agree. I'm all on the Pochettino train. I am watching the London Derby. And just so you guys, apparently the fan cams have just been posted. I can't wait to see them. So I'm actually going to go ahead and sign off at this point. I'm going to give you one more Arthur signing. Arthur, come here, Bubbles. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Yeah. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Mwah. That's my baby boy. So, guys, Arthur at least brings me some positivity. He's a good boy. And so I'm thinking that it's either going to be the Manchester United weekly stream on Wednesday, or it'll be on a Friday stream that you guys are going to be getting some massive news from me. Some absolutely massive news from me. So we'll see. I'm going to debate on which one to do. But you guys will be excited to hear this. And it's going to be exclusive to you first before it even goes out onto Twitter. So if you guys want to see it, I'm probably going to do it Wednesday at 7 p.m., maybe 6:30. But if not, we'll probably do it Friday at 9 p.m. UK time. And on Anvesh, no, I have not gotten the job yet, but I have my second interview on Wednesday. But guys, remember, we're Manchester United. We will come back because at the end of the day, this is bigger than anything. We're Manchester United. We will come back. I know we will. We might have to deal with this crap for a little bit more, but it's not going to be much longer, guys. And once Mourinho's gone and we bring in a new manager, we bring in some optimism, I guarantee you Manchester United are going to get back. We will. But guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I mean, big shout out to both Marcus and Mark Goldbridge for allowing me to shout out my channel on the United Stand. It truly meant a lot. I gained so many new subs today because of it. And just God bless the United Stand. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. It really does mean a lot because at the end of the day, I get to vent to you guys. You guys help me with my therapy, essentially. But genuinely, guys, I love you guys. God bless you guys. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a good night, a good day. Because, guys, we're Manchester United, and we will be back. I love you guys. Have a good night.